Hi guys, it's Stacey Calder here from the Business Success Network and magazine. We are on Wednesday. This is our second interview of the week, and I'm really pleased to have something a little bit different than we've had last week. So we have got with us the fantastic Christian Wilson, who is the author of CALIBRATE. Now, you will have seen, unless you're hidden under a rock, that I've been promoting this heavily for the last week or so. I am getting through it. I'm absolutely loving this book. And off the back of it, we decided to launch the Business Success Network Book Club, which it's one of those things that we just decided, do you know what? It's about time we had one. And having spoken to some members yesterday, they were like, absolutely, it's about time we've had one. Why have we not had one sooner? So without further ado, I'm going to bring in Christian, who is going to talk a lot more sense than me about this book. I just get very passionate and very excited and start shouting about it. But he is the man with all the knowledge. So let's bring him in. Hi, Christian.
Morning.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
So, we enter lockdown. What else are you going to do but write a book?
I know it was. I started writing it maybe a couple of weeks before, and I thought we were getting to one of our busiest times at work, and I thought, well, I'm going to struggle to get this written before sort of the end of the year. And then, like you say, the lockdown happened, and I just thought, well, that's a good opportunity then, isn't it? Yeah. So it was very cathartic to write a book during that time as well, because it sort of gave me the chance to really test it out. So the principles in the book, I had the perfect sort of environment with so much uncertainty going on to really sort of then test out those principles and refine them in the book. So like I say at the start of the book, they're tried and tested in almost the perfect environment to try and test them.
Absolutely. So I mean, to write a book in that short, what are we on now? Month? What are we on? April, May, June? 4 months? 5 months? I'm lost. To be honest, lockdown started. And I don't know what day of the week it is. The minute the kids came off school, it was like, oh my god, it's 6 weeks holidays turned into 6 months nightmare. But you obviously, I mean, you mentioned work there and getting into the busy sort of period. So do you want to give a bit of background into what you do or what you've done and why you decided to write the book, kind of thing?
Yeah. So, I mean, my background is coaching. So I am triathlon coach and swim coach. And with myself and my wife, we set up Swimworks, which is a family swim centre. So we've got one in Rugby and one in Leamington. So that's really teaching young children in a sort of safe, warm environment to learn to swim, because we felt there was a bit of a gap in the market with a lot of leisure centres being
this is not. I was going to say, this is not a leisure centre. It's not a public swimming pool. It is very much done. I mean, it's a lovely surrounding. I have to say, I have been. So
really to feel home from home for children, so they felt really sort of confident before they even got in the pool, and that's been the real key for it. So that keeps us pretty busy. I still do my coaching and do a lot of talks and presentations. So, but with my coaching, a lot of that background was mind setting. So there's a lot of principles in the book that actually come through from coaching. But yeah, we just felt that a lot of that information needed to sort of be shared, because whenever I do presentations, people would like, oh right, that's really interesting, how does that work? So I thought, if I can sort of get that down in one place and share that. So
and I love what you say from the book about, this isn't it's going to give you your life story. It is kind of straight to the point, getting, like you said, the questions answered that they've got. I mean, I love it. I think it's a really easy to follow book. I was saying last night, it's not one of these that, you're kind of having to reread chapters because, you've read it once and you can't quite work it out. And then you're thinking, I should be getting this, but it's not. It's really, is simple the right word? It's easy to follow. It's easy to read. Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, the stuff that's in it, I just absolutely love it. What's your favorite chapter?
I really like obstacles, because
it's like I'm already on it, like.
Because I think this is one of the challenges that a lot of people are going through, and understanding obstacles as well. you know, I heard someone the other day talking about failure and saying, you know, once you get over that, and made it sound like it's quite a sort of negative thing. I mean, even the word failure sounds very negative, and children are brought up to feel that failure is a bad thing. But actually, like I say in the book, it's part of the DNA of success. You know, you can't become any better at anything without sort of failing first and then trying to correct what you failed and improving on that. So like I say, with sort of overcoming an obstacle is actually going to empower you to become more successful and more positive. So
absolutely. And there is that whole thing about the growth mindset, isn't there? And a lot of people do struggle with that failure, that you know, I was talking about learning to say no yesterday, and a lot of that comes from failure. And
yeah,
it can be, it's a tough thing, like you say, especially around children. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of personal development, and my kids do laugh at me because they'll go, "Oh God, Mum's talking out of a book again," or something like that. But I think it's really important that you pass these things down so that, you know, they are not, you know, with all their exams and stuff like that. I have to say, my children are pretty calm when it comes to it. They're not, you know, going into exams going, I've got to do this, because it is about just, you know, just do your best. And if well, you're not going to fail, are you? But if you fail, you fail, and so on. So
yeah, and I think today as well with young children, and you know, with the exam results that we're seeing, I think there's a whole generation now that's really sort of been put through the mill, or have been. I mean, my son's 17, and you know, he's not been at college since, you know, the end of March. And then he wants to get into university next year, and it's all that uncertainty. So I wanted the book to almost be so that people of that age can read it too, because I think a lot of
I was going to say that hadn't even crossed my mind, but actually that is a fantastic idea for school. Well, yeah, absolutely. And like you say, it's so easy to read that.
Yeah, because I think if they can get their mindset, I mean, they're the next generation, aren't they? So if we can sort of get them stronger on their mindsets, that's going to help for their future.
Talking of mindset then, Christian, to get this written during lockdown with all this stuff going on, I mean, I'm pretty sure you weren't panic buying toilet rolls and God knows what else, but you know, that's some mindset to get this written. I've coached, I've mentored people to write their book and get it published. I am a bit of a someone was saying to me yesterday, accountability wise, I scare them. I don't know why. I'm not scary. But when it comes to my own book, you know, it's been sat on my desktop for, I don't even want to say how long, actually, in probably 6 or 7 different formats. So it's kind of one of those things that I just never get done. How did you get into that mindset of, do you know what, this is going to be published by the end of lockdown?
Yeah, well, I tend to set myself a target and then that's it. So I have to be really careful what I set, because it's like if I set a fitness target or anything like that, I have to try and stick to it. So I'd set the target to try and get the book finished.
You feel like you're in competition with yourself?
Yeah. But also then I'll research. So I'll sort of focus on what I need to do to get that book written. So to begin with, it was very much a case of, you know, how do I start? Do I start on chapter 1 and then go through each chapter? And speaking to a few authors, they just said, no, just get it all down, get everything down. Don't lose the flow. You know, if one day you want to talk about something completely different, then just write that down. And that really helped. Once I started getting into that mindset, that actually it's just whatever is sort of going on in my head on that day, just putting it down. And then I could then formulate it into chapters. So yeah, to begin with, it was a case of, just trying to get into that momentum. But yeah, once you learn those principles, it's easier.
And then how did you feel? Because I had a friend who published a book recently, and she was saying by the time it had got to, you know, the beta reading, the making sure that it had been proofread, the formatting, she was almost like, I am sick of the sight of my own book now. Did it ever get to that point, or did you know, is it just part of the process?
It's strange. You've read your book so many times over, but you don't always read it from start to finish. So the only thing that is strange is when you try and read it from beginning to end, because you've read it in a almost disjointed way. So that was kind of strange. But yeah, it's like when like actors are asked if they've seen their own film, isn't it? And they go, no, I don't watch my own acting.
I don't, to be honest, I don't watch these back. Somebody, Martin Baines, who was on Monday, he said to me, right, I'm going to go and watch this back now. And I said, well, that's not something I do. I hate the sound of my own voice. And considering, you know, I'm going live, God knows how many times a week, I don't watch them back. So you're welcome to. I won't.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? But yeah, the process, once you get into it, I mean, I set myself a target of so many words a day, and then after that, I was sort of trebling that down. But there's a good chapter on productivity in there, that really helped, sort of focusing on how to like stack my time so that I was still managing it. So yeah,
and that's, I mean, productivity and accountability kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? And I'm big fans of those. It's just my own stuff that I don't get done, but I have to say I am. So during lockdown I did get some done, obviously not as quickly as you. It will happen one day, I'm pretty sure. I've given myself till the end of the year to do it, so it's slowly.
Well, we've all heard that now.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
There you go. Accountability live on I won't say on telly, but I think that's pushing it a little bit. So what's next then? You've got the book, we're promoting it, it's out there. I will drop the link so that people can go off and buy it. So it's on Kindle, $4.99, and it's on paperback, $12.99. Honestly, it is, I think, one of the best business books I've bought in a long time. Because it's just so, I mean, I haven't took a highlighter to it yet, but that is a strong possibility. As I used to hate the thought of what I would call sabotaging a book with a highlighter. And then one of my coaches said to me, do it, because then you can pull it apart, you can go back to it, and it does work really, really well.
You do forget the odd sort of quote, don't you? And different.
Yeah, absolutely. You just learn from it. So what's next for you then?
So I really want to sort of get more now. We're starting to be able to socialize face to face a little bit more. Is to do more of that, and like I say, to get into colleges and universities as well, because I would like to sort of work with that age group. I do feel at the moment they're a little bit sort of neglected on that side of things. You know, they're a little bit sort of
everything's changing, isn't it, at the minute?
Yeah. So and then my publisher told me to make sure that I wrote in the back that it's a series. So I've got another one to write. So
wow,
visualization. So which is quite a big factor of this book. So it's expanding on that, but that I won't start that to the end of the year.
Just get book number 2 at the end of the year. It's fine. 2 books in a year, 2 books in 6 months. Brilliant, amazing. I'm so inspired by you, Christian. You are just, on it. And we've talked about setting up a book club for this, and I have to say, people are saying to me, brilliant, have you set it up yet? What's the Zoom link? So we are going to set it up. You are coming along to the first one. Now, I haven't got my diary to hand, but you're going to come along, and I will drop the dates in the chat for this. Let me just grab my diary quickly. Book club check-in, Friday the 21st at 10 o'clock. So if you guys want to join, you don't want to join me, but if you want to join Christian, who's going to be sharing some stuff about the book, you need to go online, you need to order the book, and then you can join us for a free book club this month. And Christian's going to be available to answer any questions you've got. So we are really, really lucky in that sense to have you. And I'm sure they will leave inspired and ready to rock and roll some more. So
idea. I read a book recently, and there was an audio book, and it was almost like an interview going on during the audio book. I think it really helps because it expands the book as well, doesn't it? People can ask questions within that.
Absolutely, it brings it to life, and just chatting to you, it makes it real. It's not somebody that's, I said to you, I haven't got a signed copy, so I need you to sign it. It just makes it a bit real. Are you used to that yet? Are you used to getting that, you know, oh, it's Christian, we need a signature?
Not really, no. My neighbour asked me the other day, and I signed it, and he said, "Oh, it's not for me. I'm too old for this now." I said, "You're never too old, John." And he's like 75.
Oh,
He just wanted a signed copy, but
bless. Yeah. No, I do love a signed copy. So there we go. Poor old Joe, your wife, will be batting them off soon, won't she? While you're signing.
Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah.
We'll have to get Jo on as a guest. Actually, that'd be a really good one to get on, so she can talk about swimworks and stuff. Right then, I hate to cut you off, but we have had 15 minutes, and I don't want to take up your busy schedule. So, like I said, we will drop the links into the chat so everyone can see that. If you've got any questions for Christian, do drop them in the comments, because we can pick them up and we can use them either at book club, or I'm sure he'll pop back on and answer them. Thank you very much for being my guest this morning, Christian.
Yeah, no, thanks, Stacey. That's been good.
I will see you shortly.
Yeah, take care. Cheers.
Right, guys, so that was my 15 minutes on a Wednesday morning. It has been a delight to say hello. What a fantastic guy Christian is. Like I said, please do go on, buy his book. It is fantastic. I'm not just saying that. You will absolutely, you know, it says unlock and upgrade your potential. That's what we're all trying to do, right? We always want to get better. So go over. I will drop the links shortly as I've finished. And I will see you all on Friday, where we will have another guest in the studio. Speak to you soon.